Shabbos Hagadol is upon us, and we are just about 1 week away from Seder Night. And that's quite exciting. And I'd like to share with you one very powerful idea. We're going to eat the matzah, and the matzah is referred to as lechem oini, poor man's bread. It is the bread of affliction. Now here we are, not only experiencing, but reliving the Exodus from Egypt. We're reliving the experience of going free. And how do we celebrate? By eating the bread of affliction? By eating poor man's bread? The evening of celebration should be about eating rich man's bread, or rich man's matzah, if you will. Not poor man's bread. But perhaps the following idea will help shed light on this matter. When the Beis Yaakov movement started in 1917, it was not really met with such great enthusiasm throughout the world. There were those who were vehemently opposed to opening a Beis Yaakov. It sounds absurd today. Today, Beis Yaakov is the bread and butter. It is the foundation of Jewish existence. And yet, 100 years ago, people were opposed to it. There were never official girls' schools. And now you're starting a Beis Yaakov movement? But there was one woman. She was so courageous. She was fearless. Her name was Frau Schneerer, Sarah Schneerer. And she decided it has to be done. And she went to the Chofetz Chaim and the Ger Rebbe and others who enthusiastically supported her. But there were still people that opposed her ideas. And there was a Beis Yaakov in Krakow. And the girls would gather there. I've actually visited the old building. And one day, they were walking to school, and she begins teaching her talmidos, her students, when the protesters set up outside the school. At first they just shouted things, and then they did the unthinkable. They took rocks and they threw it at the building to express how upset they were. Now it's obvious that what they did was a shameful and disgraceful act. But what Sarah Schneerer did after that set the tone for the next century. She told the girls to come outside, and there were stones all over the floor. And she said, girls, pick up these stones. Because these stones that were hurled at us, we will not hurl back. Instead, we will use these stones to build the foundation of what will become Beis Yaakov. Take everything that the enemy has and use that to help you build and become stronger. That is the secret of the matzah. The Egyptians tortured us, they persecuted us, they violated us, but they could not destroy us. And instead we take those stones, we take the poor man's bread, we remember those difficult times, because that's what helped us gain our freedom. That's what helped us to become the nation we've become.